Hello all, welcome to Cybercrete, and today we have Utpal Singh, who have recently qualified in Cognizant exam. So today we are going to have a look how he have basically prepared and he have make his way through Cognizant. So hello Utpal.
Hi Adit.
So can you just give everyone a brief introduction about yourself?
Hello everyone. My name is Utpal Singh. I am a computer science engineer pursuing my BTech in CSE. If, and currently I am in my fourth year and I am selected in Cognizant for the GEMC profile.
So can you tell me like how were you preparing or how much long have you been preparing for this company? Like how many days it took to prepare?
Basically, uh, basically, if you are good with the basics, then you don't need to prepare for the too much time. Basically, I have started preparing for the Cognizant before 2 months of the exam. I was notified by my TPO in the starting of October or September, last September. So I started for preparing for Cognizant then only, and I started with uh, studying aptitude, reasoning, and verbal ability first.
Like you told, like if your basics is good, can you please tell other people like what basics are you talking about? Is it programming or aptitude or what basics?
Basically, if you have basics in good basics in problem solving in anything like aptitude or programming, it is the same. If you have good aptitude in real life, then you can prepare for the Cognizant easily. Means yeah, for aptitude and programming as well, you
I mean, I
you
think
have to good with the basics.
okay. Like in your 2 months, like how you prepared? Like how much time do you study like per day for this preparation? Like how can you please tell?
See, actually, you to study for the aptitude and logical reasoning, you have to make a plan to give each topic sufficient time to prepare. So first check the syllabus of Cognizant. What type of the questions are asked previously, and which topic is most important, and which topic they don't ask frequently. So uh, create a plan according to that, and uh, start preparing from the various resources. Like best resource for the aptitude, I will say RS Agrawal aptitude. It is the best resource for any aptitude exam, like any company or any government exam. It is the best book. If you have time like 3 to 4 months, then you go with that, and various websites are also there to prepare for aptitude and logical reasoning.
Like India Bix.
I like yeah, I studied basically from India Bix and some topics from RS Agrawal. Basically, RS Agrawal you doesn't have the uh,
Okay.
short tricks in the book. So it is the shortcomings of that book.
Okay. Then you told like how you prepared. So can you tell me like what all things were asked in test? So there was test on MCAT platform, right? Like Cognizant conducted
Yeah,
MCAT
test
test.
on was on MCAT.
So like how many sections were there and what were asked in that section?
Basically, this time the pattern of Cognizant campus placement was changed. There was no verbal ability section this time. There was a essay writing section in place of verbal section. So also it was a non-elimination section as well, and questions in aptitude are 24 instead of 16 in previous years. Previous years there was 16 question, and this time there was 24 questions in 30 minutes. So you have little bit more time for the aptitude. So difficulty level of questions little bit increased from the previous years. Not that much, but a little bit. And logical is logical had the same question like.
So means there were logical section, aptitude section, and one programming section, right? Or
Yeah,
automata
yeah,
fix
yeah.
session. So in
Automata
automata,
fix, yeah. Automata fix.
how many questions were there in automata fix?
Basically, there were 7 questions. You have to solve the 7 questions in 20 minutes.
So just in order to qualify this test and just to go to the interview, how many questions do you think we have to basically do so that we can basically reach to interview round?
Basically, it depends upon your college and the who performs the best among all the students, uh, and how much competition do you have. It depends upon that.
Means
Basically, I will say 4 to 5 question you have to minimum solve, because it is a very easy section compared to other programming exams of other companies. So basically, you have to solve 4 to 5 questions.
so,
Yeah,
so I think what you are trying to say is that it is not the percentage here that matters. It is the percentile that matters. Like if you are in
yeah,
top
yeah,
20 percentile, you are selected.
yeah. Top 20, top 25 percentage according to requirement of company.
Okay. So in automata fix, like there were 7 sections and they are super easy. So how much were you able to solve out of 7?
Actually, I solved the 6 out of 7. But you don't have to solve 6 or all the questions. If you solve 4 or 5, you will get selected easily. Uh, 3 questions are also good. If so many person didn't solve 4 or 5 questions, then 3 will do the work.
Okay. So, but there is also like aptitude section. In aptitude, how many questions you think? Like more than 70% questions if you do, I think you get selected.
Yeah, to be safe, you need to solve at least 80% and questions right. You have to attempt 80% questions right. Means there was 24 questions. You have to try to correct the 20 to 22 questions to qualify for the exam.
Okay, and so we forget to talk about one most important thing, like what was the eligibility criteria to basically sit in
Okay,
the
okay.
exam?
Eligibility criteria was 60% in 10th, 12th, and your graduation till third year, and no backlog till the till the third year, last semester of like 6th semester.
And if I'm not wrong, like if you are less than 60% in any of the cases, you will be allowed to sit in the exam. But after exam, in the MCAT exam, you are basically asked to submit your or result. And after the exam, they will eliminate you. They won't basically call you for interview. So can you? So what according to you will be basically be a good CGPA so that you can sit in like most of the service-based company?
Basically, uh, at least you have to have 6.5 CGPA minimum, and try to maintain the CGPA of 7 and above to uh, get shortlisted in any campus placement exams. Not only Cognizant. It will be good if you maintain 7 CGPA, and then you will get more chances than others. 6.5 is minimum, but try to maintain 7
I think
CGPA.
this CGPA also sometimes comes into the play. Like if two people are selected, and you have to just pick one of them, and then the person with the higher CGPA is basically selected. So CGPA actually matters,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So now moving on to your interview round. So the day that you know that your name have basically arrived for interview. So did you started preparing then, or after giving exam itself, you know that yeah, I will be selected. So when you started preparing for interview.
So basically, uh, I received a mail from Cognizant that your interview will be in next week. So I started preparing then only. Uh, but my interview didn't happen in next week as well. Interview happens on 18th November of 1 month, almost 1 month after the result. So I got a lot of time to prepare for the interview. Basically, this time interview was happening virtually. So there are no separate TR and HR round. They were happening in the by the same panel. Sometimes there was a two interviewer, and sometimes there was a only one interviewer as well. So my interview was around 1 a.m., 1 p.m., and I I got a mail from Cognizant to present before 5 minutes of the time.
So what all
So
topics did you prepare
and
for the interview? Like what were
basically basically I was uh, interviewing for the Gen Z profile, so you be don't have to study in depth of every subject. You have to know basics of everything, and you have to have good knowledge of project you have done, and also you have to be positive in front of interviewer in HR round. So basically, for TR round, technical round, I basically prepare for MySQL. I preferred my previous academic notes, and also prefer, basically you will prepare all thing from geeks for geeks, then you will good to go, like DBMS, DS, basics of algorithms, and
okay?
software engineering, OS.
Okay, so there is
Yeah.
very myth that you need to be very good in English in order to be hired with this service-based company. So is
No,
that
no,
myth
no.
true?
No. This myth is true. Sometime if you are like, if you can't speak about, then this myth
No,
is
like
true.
completely
If
fluent. Like if
no
you
no
are not comfortable.
no. If you are not fluent, it doesn't matter. Means you just need to communicate your thoughts and your knowledge to the interviewer.
Okay,
Just that you don't need to be fluent, like you don't have to give a speech in Oxford for that.
okay, that's great. So what all things your interviewer basically asked you, like how he basically started your interview?
Basically, my interview was unique compared to other interviews, because every interview start with tell me about yourself or introduce yourself, but my interviewer didn't ask uh, to introduce myself firstly. So I was a bit nervous that why my interview is so different from others, because uh, uh, interviewer was also not not rude, but he was not friendly. Like I have read in various interview experience that interviewer is so friendly, and
Okay,
he was supporting me. That my interviewer was not that supportive.
so I think you basically start with
Basically,
getting nervous.
because he didn't ask. He directly asked to me to uh, I think, what technology do you know? First question was that. So
Oh,
I tell him I know machine learning, basics of IoT, basics of cloud computing. Yeah, that's all. So
so so then did he ask a question from machine learning, IoT, or cloud computing, any of these?
no. Basically, I have done an internship in machine learning. So I saw in various interview experience that if you have done internship in any technology, the interviewer will ask the question from uh, that internship only. But in my case, he just asked if you know machine learning or not. So I tell, yes, I have done an internship in machine learning. Then he didn't even ask a single question from machine learning.
So like
He only asked me technical from Java only.
okay. So the technical questions were just from Java, from DS, OS, or DBMS, any of these?
Yeah, he not a single question from DBMS. From DS, he asked me like linear data structure and non-linear data structure.
So in interview, like how
Just
many
one question.
questions you were able to answer out of like 100%?
Actually,
Like
I answered all the questions. But if you don't, actually, he asked me. I rated my skills in the bullet points. Like I rated my Java the 3 out of 5. So yeah, he started first Java, oops, Java, and little bit depth in Java, and he started asking me JDBC question. So I tell him, sir, that I don't didn't implement JDBC because I was just program in Java. I don't implement in any project. So he didn't ask me, and he said, don't worry, I will ask from any other topic. So if
so
you
what?
don't know about that topic, you can tell him that don't ask me from this topic. I don't know anything about this topic.
So what was the follow-up
That's
question
fine.
like after that?
So basically, he was asking the concept like what was the what was the access modifier in Java in the form of project. Then he asked that question directly in the Java. So I tell him what was the access modifier, what and how can be used in actual project. Also I tell him.
Like after all this technical questions were over, is there any non-technical question that he have asked you?
Yeah, actually, uh, the this time the cognizant interview last around 40 to 1 hour for average for a person averagely. So my interview last only 20 minutes only. uh, he just asked me Java question in TR, and he started asking me HR. He had asked me at least 6 or 7 HR questions.
Like
I,
what type
I
of HR
didn't
questions?
prepare. Basically, if you uh, don't prepare for HR, then you can get stuck in the interview. So prepare well for HR, because I didn't expect so many questions in HR.
Like
Basically, uh, basically HR question didn't get repeated. You just have to be positive and show your skills, how you are good and how you are enthusiastic to work in any technology, and in the cognizant basically.
like
you
what type of HR
you-
questions were there? Do you
basically
remember?
he will check your leadership skill, what is your technical skill, what is your personal skills. So in form of the question could be different, but I could tell you a question like he asked me, if you are working on a technology and the technology become obsolete in after working 50% of the project, and your boss asked to implement the project in new technology that is trending right now. So what will you do?
So what did you answer?
Yeah, this type of question he asked me.
It's like
Actually,
what
I
did you?
answered. Firstly, I answered him. Firstly, I answered him that uh, just try to be positive, sir. First, I tell him that, sir, if uh, if the new technology is integratable with the old technology, I will try to integrate the new old technology with the new, and try to deliver the product in the within the deadline. So he asked me, no, that old technology is completely obsolete. You can't use it anymore. So I tell him I will talk to my teammates, and I use my experience and try to learn the new technology as soon as possible, and use all my experience to implement in that project to complete in the within the deadline. Yeah. So basically, you have to present your skills, personal skills as well.
Okay, so after that you basically got selected, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Actually, actually my interview was so short, so I was little bit nervous. I didn't think I will get selected, but yeah, if you are good, then you don't have to sit for 40 minutes or 1 hour for interview. You will get selected in 20 minutes.
So I think this was your whole story of getting selected in Cognizant. So
Yeah,
congratulations for that.
thank you.
So can you basically tell like what all things your juniors should prepare to get selected in that company or in any service-based company for that matter? What are topics and how they can prepare?
Basically, if you are even if you are in first year or second year or third year, you need to start preparing for your exams in right now. Even if you are in first year, there are so much competition in present time. Also, COVID crisis also caused some havoc on the IT industry as well. So start preparing and stick to the basics, and also concentrate on your studies in the academics, so that you don't need to put so much effort during the exam. If you are if you are continuously uh, doing good in your academics, and try to do programming on the daily basis from the various resources like HackerRank, Geeks for Geeks, Code Forces, like
Okay.
these. So
So like along with your daily code schedule, they should basically prepare for coding from this website like HackerRank Lead Code or Gigs for Gigs.
yeah. Any one or two. Don't go for every website.
Okay.
First start with
So what
GGFG,
about
and
aptitude?
then go.
Like how long they
Yeah,
should
yeah.
start preparing aptitude? Because that
If you are good in basic maths, then you don't need to prepare for so much time. You can prepare in 2 or 3 months. 2 or 3 months are enough for aptitude, if you prepare continuously and with determination. And if you are not good with your basic maths as well, then you will require 3 months more time, 6 or 7 months. Then you will also you can also prepare in 6 or 7 months. There is no need to worry.
like from first year or second year onwards, then do not basically need to study like aptitude. From third year onwards, they should restart. That is
No,
what
no,
you
no,
are
no,
trying.
no, no. Was just uh, from from first year to your third year, you just need to prepare for programming. Do as much as programming you can and create the projects, learn new technologies seriously. Like don't just don't just wrote the theories of CS, implement it as well. And also to prepare aptitude, you just need 3 or 4 months. You can do it in your summer holiday between 7th semester and 6th semester.
Okay, so I think this was it for this video. So thanks for coming in and sharing your experience. So if you are basically like this video, please
Thank
make
you,
sure
thank you.
to subscribe to our channel and thanks for watching.